We need episode 700. You know what I'm saying? And I need 700 grand. We live? Okay, beautiful. Small Axe Talks. This is kind of the end of the year wrap up here. Here with Sam. What's up, man? How are you?
Not too bad. How you doing? Thanks for having me on the show again.
Yeah, man, definitely. So, we were just kind of talking about Stranger Things. So I don't know if you want to talk about that for a little bit, just to
Sounds like a fun
start it
movie.
off. Yeah, man. So I know you got the shirt on there. Super dope. Like that. So you said they're doing a third season right now?
Yeah, third season coming out. My understanding is probably around the summertime.
Okay, hell yeah.
Which I'm guessing that's when they said it's taking place is during the summertime. But
yeah.
I'm super excited for it. It's one of my favorite shows.
Do you know? Is there anything out like about, what? Because I can't remember how the last season end. I can't fucking remember. I remember the first one. There was that the first season. There was that weird ass monster.
The Demogorgon.
Yeah, was that in the second season too? Fuck, maybe I didn't see the second.
Oh, that's the Demo Dogs in the second one. Those little small, before they grow up to be the big.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So how did it end?
The second season with that big smoke monster you kind of see in the background and in the sky, and so that's what ends with the second one is him overlooking the high school.
Yeah. Damn. So what? So I can. That's how it ended then, right?
Yeah.
Fuck. That would be interesting to see what they do then with that. I don't know that series. I just love how retro it feels.
Yeah, so that's me. I'm really into the 80s stuff, which I really like, and that was a big draw. But what I think sealed it for me was the music of the show. And I'm not talking about the acts of the New Order. That I meant the score. The people do the theme song and just the random music in the background. I think that helps. That makes or breaks certain kind of shows.
Yeah.
So that was huge for me in that.
And Winona Ryder. She's
she's
fucking awesome.
That definitely helped.
Yeah. So what else? Are you into anything else right now? Or have you guys been into anything else as far as
again, me and my Twin Peaks obsession thing. So I kind of recently watched that. So I went to a trivia night they did here recently down at Valley Bar.
Oh yeah, how was that?
I got schooled. It was good, but I got schooled on that, man. There's some nerdy people out there that definitely know everything.
Yeah.
So, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. I would do it again. So, and my understanding is they're going to do that again.
Fuck, that's dope.
So other than that kind of show where it deals with time travel and the weird type of stuff, so Twin Peaks, Stranger Things. Again, it's not a new season yet, but dark, that kind of stuff. That seems to be where my interest is lately.
Yeah.
And then old reruns of Home Improvement, which I found that
Home Improvement
they've been showing on TV on
Holy shit,
Laugh Channel, which is I've been watching a lot of that.
Man, you want to know? I saw last year, and I watched it again this year just because it was so fucking bad. It was almost good. Tim Allen did a Netflix Christmas movie, El Camino. Did you see that?
I've been wanting to check it out, but
holy fuck, man! I mean, it was so awful that it was almost good. It was bad.
I'll have to check it. I like his old Christmas movies like Santa Claus and Santa Claus 2.
Yeah, those are badass. I watched those growing up. But it's crazy how when actors get older, it's even if they were fucking awesome, they just start doing these weird shitty movies.
Yeah, sometimes it's because they need money.
Yeah, but they can't
that's probably why.
Maybe they're just bored.
Could be, but
because I've seen Al Pacino.
There's so many different things out there that they could, if they're really bored and it's not for money, they could find and do and make something decent.
Yeah.
And I know everyone's got different tastes, but you just see some of these movies and it's how did that get greenlit, much less funded?
Yeah.
Who put the money into that? I was this is going to be good.
Well, Netflix, they have so much fucking money. It's they can pump out so much shit, and I think they probably don't really care.
Well, I think they're finally starting to. It started out with a lot of junk, and now it's starting to get better. All their little own movies and shows are starting to actually get better quality,
higher quality.
Yeah, they're getting some good. So I haven't seen it yet, but it's that new Roma movie.
Oh yeah, I saw the ad for it. Or whatever.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to check that out here.
Yeah, it looks interesting.
I'll check that out tonight since I have nothing going on.
Did you watch the Coen Brothers, the Buster Scruggs?
I haven't seen that yet.
It's badass.
Bird Box?
Yeah. What was it?
Bird
Oh yeah, Bird Box, that
Bird
new one.
Box.
Apparently, that's
Oh,
all the
that
rage
looked
right
fucking
now.
weird. Really?
Everyone loves it. Apparently, like it's supposed to be super good. So
Yeah.
that'd be something else to check out.
Yeah, man.
But
Fuck.
again, it's kind of like this movie just came out of nowhere, and oh, here's this thing, and everyone loves it.
Yeah, man. We watch like so much TV in America, and so much like entertainment type shit. It's like constant.
Oh yeah, and if you're not watching the show, you're reading something on the phone or playing a game
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah, it's if all that stuff went away, people would just be
What would you
lost.
do?
I'd
People
go do
would have
what
to
I do.
entertain
Yeah,
themselves.
I can still go out and skateboard and have fun. I mean, most of the time when you're
Yeah.
out doing that, you're not on the camera. I mean, someone might be filming you for something, but other than that, you don't need that to have fun. Go play catch,
Yeah.
play some football. Go, do random stuff.
Have you heard anything about China? Like the what do they call it? The social like I don't know what they call it, like social rating shit that they're trying to implement in China. Have you seen anything about that?
I was hearing something about it, but I didn't look into that yet, so I can't
It's fucking
really.
crazy.
Well,
I saw
China's always doing weird stuff, anyways.
Yeah, but now like I saw something on it the other day, and they were, I think this was from like a year ago or something like that, but they were showing like they were implementing it in this one, community, and they have somebody who, I can't remember the title what they call this person, but it's somebody who kind of oversees this area or this community, and they oversee all these people's ratings. So like if like it showed this one guy, he found a wallet and he turned it in, and that bumped his social rating, and he got like a little fucking award for it, and like it's so bizarre, man. Like it's really it's like some Black Mirror shit.
Yeah, that to me is going to lead to something bad. It's not.
Oh,
they're trying to show it
yeah.
as something good, but anytime you got, which is basically the government in control, something like that, and they're basically spying on you and watching you. Oh, this person's doing this. Yeah, he did this. Let's give him a good reward. But in the meantime, we're watching what he's doing, or we're going to get this, or we don't like what you're doing. We're going to regulate that and monitor it. And
That's scary.
yeah, and that's what they're doing, and that's happening a lot over here now.
You
I
think?
mean, yeah, I think they're trying to get
Like
into
how?
a lot of that stuff. As far as watching what we do and regulate, with the TV and what you see on a certain show, if the networks, certain things don't like that, they're not going to show that. And it happens a lot in the news. Everyone wants to call it fake news, but it's more there's stuff that happens, but they don't cover that in the news.
Yeah.
But you might see it on this channel, but this channel decided that that's not worthy of being shown, and that's them regulating what is being shown. So if they're already regulating stuff that should be on the news and should be important,
Yeah.
why are we not hearing about it more?
I haven't seen. I mean, I don't watch like mainstream media channels a whole lot, but I haven't seen them. They haven't been covering all that yellow vest protest shit in Paris. Like, I feel like they haven't been covering that at all. Like the only stuff I've seen about it is like if I just go onto YouTube and just on the main page, like recommended videos, like it'll pop up.
Yeah,
Just from some random,
because it has nothing really important to do with our government. So
have you seen anything about that?
No, not really. It's kind of knew it was
Really?
going on, and it's kind of just The biggest one I saw a little bit was the bombing in Egypt of that tourist bus.
Oh, I didn't even hear about that.
I saw that, and so in retaliation,
recently?
yeah, this is recent. I forgot how many died in the tourist bus explosion. The Egyptian government's already killed 15 people involved with it, supposedly, and they're hunting more down. And I mean, that's good that they're getting that, but it's like, they're not messing around. They go and get it done.
Yeah.
But they're soloing those people out. Like, if that happened here, in our country right now, if we got a bus bombing, what country is responsible? Let's go bomb the hell out of that country.
Mm-hmm.
How about we target the people that are responsible, like what Egypt's doing? And again, I don't know all of it. I'm just going by what I see on the news.
Yeah.
But do you see them bombing their whole country to get these people that are involved? No.
Yeah.
They're singling these people out, finding them, targeting, and getting it done. But that's the big one I've been seeing there. But as far as back to what you're saying with that regulation thing, the easiest big example that most people understand would be the 9/11. Most people don't even know about the two buildings. There was a third building that went down. That's regulation. Why are we not taught about that?
What is that? I don't even know anything about that. What do you mean?
So on that day, 3 buildings went down. Not just the 2 trade centers. There was also a third building.
What was the third building?
And I can't remember what the third building's actual name was. but I know it had some government offices in it. And it wasn't hit by a plane, but they said because some debris from the other building hit it and caught it on fire, it made the whole building fall down.
So why would that?
But you're not taught about it. No one knows about it.
But why would they try to hide that? Why would that be something that is?
I don't know. But when that's, even if it wasn't hit by a plane, it's all collateral damage of that day of what happened. You hear about the Pentagon. You hear about that airplane that went down. You hear about the 2 buildings went down, but you don't hear about the 3rd building that went down. So it kind of disappeared that day, and it was kind of just hidden in the news that evening as it was going down.
Well, there has to be a lot of people that know about it, because I mean,
you don't.
People that live in New York. I mean, obviously.
Well, those people, but like in school when they teach about it, they don't don't mention anything. You mention about Pentagon. You mention about that airplane went down, flight whatever number that was. And the 2 buildings. Well, if that 3rd building was affected by that, even if it's not as important, it's still part of it.
Yeah.
Why are you cutting that section out? So, because to me, that's covering up stuff. It's stuff that you need to know. That's like a murder case. Well, that person got killed as well, but they're not as famous as the Kardashians that got killed right here in the same room. You know what I'm saying? But don't worry about that 3rd person over here that got killed because they're not famous.
Yeah.
And to me, that shows me they're hiding something, or they're altering history, basically. Why are you not showing that? That's part of history. It's all in the same thing. It's all affected by the same thing. That should be being taught. So my brothers go to school, they knew nothing about it. They were not taught about that.
Well, it's just like, it's interesting. I mean, I'm not like a huge Donald Trump fan, but I mean, I never, before he, started all this, fake news shit, I never really thought about it, honestly. But now, now looking at, again, I don't, it's not like I'm sitting and watching CNN or Fox News all day. I don't even watch, these news channels, but now I definitely see how, if you go to their websites or whatever, I mean, they're definitely pushing, their own agenda, their own perspective. But it's like, also at the same time, like things like YouTube, like now, if something happens, if I can go like straight to the source versus reading an article or somebody else's opinion on what happened, I'll do that, because it's like, then I can judge it from my own like perspective.
Well, so that's been going on first. So all these news, part of it's, you got the people that are in charge of that network. They're wanting to get ratings, so they're trying to push it out there. But you'll see a lot of times they'll come out and say something, and then they have to backtrack or apologize because get the most views and be the first to cover, or whatever. It's not the real story, and it's fake. And the other thing with the whole regulating and monitoring stuff is with the Alex Jones. I don't like the guy myself, but it's a dangerous step they're taking now, because he's not allowed to have anything now. You're taking away his YouTube, or taking away everything else. People, you may not like him. He may be an ass. He may be making lies, maybe stuff, but that's a scary step, because now they're stopping people from saying stuff, because what they deem is not real or is beneficial to them, you shouldn't be allowed to hear it. Where we should be allowed to, I don't like him, I don't have to watch his channel.
He is a real fucking nut job, though. I totally, I agree with you. It's it's kind of fucking scary for, these corporations or whatever, these, companies to ban somebody's voice. But I mean, if he's inciting, violence or people to start, I mean, I don't know, he's just kind of like a special exception, because he is so fucking like hardcore,
It is, but it's starting to slippery slope now. You start that, now where is the end? So him inciting violence, what do you think half of these rap videos incite?
Yeah, that's true.
Not just rap videos, any music videos nowadays.
That's
there's
true.
A lot of bad stuff on
Tekashi
it. You got to
6ix9ine.
choose. Yeah, come on. You choose to watch it yourself or not. I don't like him. I don't watch it. But when you start regulating who can and can't say stuff.
Yeah.
So again, he may be extreme case, but pretty soon it just gets more and more, and that's where our society is going right now. Oh, I don't like what he says. He needs to be fired. He needs to lose his job, and we need to take him off the air. Mm-hmm. How about you just not watch it like you used to do back in the old days?
Yeah.
And then if you lost ratings, maybe they might let him go or something else. But now it's like you get crucified for saying anything that is offensive to anyone. So again, he said a lot of offensive stuff and just a lot of whatever, but
he's a fucking nut.
But that was his right to do it. But what I'm getting is now they're taking that away. Where is it going to stop? Yeah. So he's this start. Government stuff, you know, they want you to pay these bills, do this or that, but we don't have to necessarily do it. So
like as far as
like healthcare, stuff like that. We got to pay all these fees and all that, but they don't have to have it. They don't have to pay for medical care, healthcare, plus they get the healthcare and all that. But
what are you talking about? If you're
government, so if I don't have health insurance, I get fined for it and all that. They don't. But the problem is they don't have to have it because they get it for free. But it's more as you are going to be fined if you don't have health insurance. But they aren't getting fined. Again, I know they have it, but it's more as like you do as we say, not as we do. So right now I'm drawing a blank as better examples, but it's always kind of been that way. Is we can Federal Reserve prints money.
Yeah.
What's the money based off of?
Nothing. I mean, it's not backed.
But if one of us as a human prints off money, it's counterfeit and you're a criminal. Yeah. So again, do as we say, but not as we do. So again, I know, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to go, you don't want your Tom on the screen. Why should they? What makes their money more valuable than if I print something and start using it to trade for someone for something?
It used to be backed by, gold, but I can't remember exactly when that was. That was axed, but I feel like this is like...
I want to say it was around like 1933 or 40 or something. So they went off the gold standard.
Yeah, exactly. But this is such a weird time because I feel like because so many Americans live paycheck to paycheck and don't have any savings. And then you also have, all this like crazy political stuff going on. And then also you have the technology piece that is coming in. I feel like I'm not involved in like any of the cryptocurrency shit, but I feel like it's an interesting concept because if you could basically, like you said, I mean, the dollar, it only basically has meaning because we all use it and say it has meaning. So if there was some other like viable option that a lot of people, jumped on board with, that could potentially become something. I feel like, you know who John McAfee is?
Yeah.
So he supposedly is going to run.
He ran this last time too.
Yeah, so he's going to run again in 2020. But supposedly what he says is, I mean, he's a fucking another nut job too. But he wants to run just to put cryptocurrency, get it out there more to the public. But I mean, I think that's an interesting thing because it's like if people did this, like if everybody did jump over to a Bitcoin or something like that, I mean that could become a real like viable monetary option for people.
Well, it should be an option as long as I find value and you find value in it and we want to trade each other, then fine. But it's the whole money thing now is based off of a lie and a promise, like the Federal Reserve saying, oh yeah, their money is guaranteed at this and that, but you got to take their word for it. There's no proof and there's no gold or nothing backing it. And, everyone just automatically assumes, oh, it's okay. It'll never go bad. Never go bad. Again, remember, you got the Federal Reserve. It's not part of our government. They're their own separate entity that's printing and controlling this money. And that to me is, who are these people? Why is there no regulation? Why is there no audit of them, of the Federal Reserve?
I don't know why we let our economy or whatever, I mean, or why we let so much ride on, what the stock market is doing, or like what, I don't know. It's fucking weird.
I think a lot of it was just it started out and they just kept pushing it and showing that this is kind of what it has to be and how it has to be, and people have just gotten so used to being the normal. Same with paying taxes. There is no law that you got to pay taxes.
What do you
mean?
But
so people have gotten so crazy and so built up over it, and they pushed it and forced it so much that you got to pay taxes.
What do you mean there's no law?
There's nothing in the Constitution, anything that says you have to pay government taxes.
Really?
There's nowhere in there that you have to do that. But if you don't do it, you all of a sudden you can go to jail and go to prison and all that. But there's no law that says you got to pay that, legally written down.
Wasn't Kennedy trying to, or didn't he like propose getting rid of the IRS, or... Am I totally, you know anything about that?
I don't know if he might have, but I know there's been several politicians that have. Of course, they get laughed at and say you're nutty and crazy. And or the Federal Reserve is the big one that we all fight. And what's name's I don't like them. I guess Trump though has been getting on them lately. The Federal Reserve, been going with them, and I'm all good. Get on them. They're not a
I feel like
good place.
Yeah, I feel like 2019 is gonna be fucking shitstorm, man.
Yeah, well, and you also have the government lockdown now, or shutdown, partial.
I think
shutdown.
that's great, man.
I have no problem. Again, yes, there's
like,
people that aren't working, but
they should feel the burn, man. I feel like they should feel the pain. These politicians, if they're not getting paid, fuck it, you know.
Well, I think the politicians are already getting their money. It's a little bit smaller government, so I think some of the people that go and take the trash out from the monuments and stuff like that, that part of the government is being shut down, and they're not getting their money.
Of course.
So I feel bad for them. I don't feel bad for the congressmen, the senators, all that, and they shouldn't be getting their money. But personally, I don't really see what's, other than some people not getting paid or maybe getting jobs, what is it hurting?
What is the what?
If this government shutdown, what is hurting right now? What has fallen apart that we're all, oh my God, look at, we're dying without them? Nothing. Then again, it may take some time, but overall, it's not like our world came to an end because the government shut down, partial shut down and that's what they tried to sell it as. Yeah. Oh no, we can't sell this. And then also, they got to come on and agree with I'm guessing there's a financial term date or agreement they had to come to or something.
Well, wasn't like the previous shutdowns, it was because of the U.S. debt. So they shut it. Well, I don't know exactly, honestly, what the whole issue was, but they shut it down, and then they come to an agreement on, okay, we'll allow this much more debt for the U.S. to take on or whatever. I don't know if that has to do with it at all.
Well, it could be, but my whole thing is when we're in debt, like if I get in debt, no one's going to give me more money. So why are we giving the government more money? How about stop, increase the spending, and you need to pay this off. I'm sorry if you got to bring all the troops home. I'm sorry if you got to shut this down. That's just part of life that average Americans have to live with. We don't have it. We don't get to increase our debt. You're done. They take away your house. They take away your car, everything. But no, let's give the government more money. Let's increase it and keep giving more stuff. Yeah. And to me, that's just, it's more of do as we say, not as we do type things. We'll take your house and your, everything you have. You don't pay your taxes, we're coming after this. We're going to take your paycheck and do all this. But we aren't paying our debt, we're just going to increase it.
Yeah.
So again, it may not be the best analogy. I didn't come unprepared to talk about all this stuff. It's kind of just, and that's how this show is supposed to be. But you get what I'm saying is, it's increased debt.
Yeah, that's what I.
Where does that work in any industry of business?
Well, that's what I don't understand, and I'll ask people. It's like, when's the day gonna come where the U.S. government says, okay, we have to buckle down and pay back this 20 trillion in debt? I mean, what does it even mean? I mean, is it just going to keep increasing? I don't understand.
They'll always keep increasing because it's the same thing with the
but at some point
the military budget. They want to increase it by this much. And I know it's going to piss off a lot of military. Again, I'm not against it. It's just if you ain't got the money, you ain't got the money. It's the same for me and you. Hey, I want to increase my house by 500 square feet. I don't have the $5,000 to do that, or whatever it may be. Then you don't do it.
Yeah.
And I just don't get how they can keep doing it and keep increasing it. Eventually, there's going to be a snowfall. And my understanding is that a lot of our debt is to China. Mm-hmm. They're funding this debt.
Yeah. Well, I think they're they're connected. We're like, interconnected, the U.S. and China. So, if one goes down, I don't think it's good for either economies. But obviously, China has way, way more people. They have like 1.3 billion fucking people in that country. I don't know what and that's the scary thing too, is like now back to all that, that social credit shit that they're starting to do. And it's like, China is a, whatever they are, communist, capitalist country, but it's like, it's fucking crazy. Like to see the government start doing things like that is, I don't know, it's fucking nuts. Super crazy.
They're just trying to satiate their working mass to keep them working.
Yeah.
And that's happening. Actually, I think it's Korea is finally cracking down where they made a government law where you can't work a certain amount of hours no more.
What do you mean?
I guess over there they can just work, and there's no...
Oh, like there's no...
So there's a lot of deaths from people overworking themselves. So you want to work 20 hours a day, you work 20 hours a day. 7 days a week.
Well, it's like that. I mean, if you have a salaried job, here in the U.S., I mean, you're expected to get the job done no matter, whatever it takes as far as work to put in to get it done.
Well, it's that we as people are buying into that.
Yeah.
And I you know what, I signed on. I don't mind working a little bit more than whatever, but enough is enough. I need to have a life outside of work.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to get the best performance from me. You're going to wear me out. I'm going to be tired. I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to get injured.
Yeah.
And or kill myself. And that's what a lot of these people do. So I had a job recently where these guys are working 14, 16-hour days. And I'm all, why? You have no life outside of work.
What was their response, or what did they?
The employee themselves was like, oh, it's just what I got to do. It's my job. I need to get it done so I can get these sales and get this done. And again, the sales are going to be there. You know what? They're like, or they don't want the, getting yelled at from the boss, or they don't want this client complaining and this and that. And I'm all, that's part of life. You guys need to stop. See, they've gotten so spoiled and so used to this that that's what they demand. But the company needs to back up their employees and say, you know what? They're done. Their time is over. And then on top of that, a lot of the times they're done with their 16-hour days, they're still getting calls from other employees, stores, bosses. Oh, why isn't this done? Why isn't that done? It's like, this needs to stop.
Yeah.
Work is left at work. You come home, you need to unwind, relax, re-energize, come back to work. And I think it's Switzerland or New Zealand or something, they'd have where you take like a 2-hour lunch break. And they only work.
Sounds nice.
And they find out their workers are more productive. They're more happy. You're not killing them all day. So some of these jobs, these people are overworking themselves. And a lot of it is because to live, cost of rent's too much. They're in debt. They have these expensive car payments. They have 2 or 3 kids. They have all this stuff they got to pay for, and to do that requires them working 14-hour days.
Yeah, you're trapped. You get trapped, and you have.
So I mean, that's on them. They need to live within their means, but there's usually things that are pushing it. So not everyone's going past their means. It's just rent has gone up, price of food's gone up, gas has gone up, everything's gone up.
Well, why aren't they? I don't understand why we aren't building, like, obviously they're building shit tons of apartments and stuff like that, but why aren't we building like affordable, sustainable housing communities?
My opinion is there's no money in it.
Yeah, but I mean, you would think if you could build this at a reasonable cost, new affordable housing, that there would be young people out there that would be willing to.
Oh, there is tons of people in it, but there's no money in it for the people building it. That's all it comes down to, is greed and money. They want,
remember,
how much can I get?
Before like 2008, I mean, they were building lots of new housing in certain areas, and obviously that all came to fucking crash. But I mean, now, they're not building new housing at all, really, or at least that I've seen. I don't know. Have you seen any?
Yeah, I see it popping up, but it's you got all the new housing popping up in the nicer suburb areas. So again, you got the housing coming in, but it's not affordable. And then if they are building the affordable stuff, it's like a small little one little block, and that's it. So you can fit
apartments. A lot of
you can fit a lot of apartments, but a lot of them aren't affordable.
Yeah.
So even the ones that are in the ran down area are being rejuvenated, and now they're not affordable no more. They get rid of the tenants, redo it, and now they get new tenants because they raise the rent to however much. And I think that just happened somewhere down in Chandler. There was an old place.
Really?
We're paying like $600 a month rent or something like that because they've been here forever. New place bought it, gave them eviction notice, refixed it up. Now they're renting them for $1,500.
So fucked up.
Yeah,
super fucked up. Yeah, I feel like we should just. I don't know. That's not good. To not have any control over your living costs or be able to afford like your own land or your own home that's not good. Well, because then you're at the mercy.
Well, yeah, when they got you trained to, you have to do this, and that's where, personally myself, I'm trying to hopefully in 10 years or less be out of here and go retire somewhere wherever I want to live. Yeah. And retire, I mean, live cheaply, have a garden, have some solar, and I'm hoping to have other people that want to join me, so make it like a little small community, so we all pitch in and we can afford the area.
Like a commune?
That we bought, but it's not a commune where it's like a nutty religion or that. You do what you want to do, but we help each other so we can live and not have to work, because retirement age is what, 66, 67 now? And it just keeps going up. I'm like, I'm sorry, most people are not living much past 60.
Yeah.
I'm basically middle age. How many people do not live to 80? Not many.
I know plenty of people.
So you're basically working yourself to death.
Yeah, work yourself to death. Yeah, that's not good. Well, I wonder, like 100 years from now, because like things like, like mega cities. I mean, that's a fairly new like concept in terms of like human history as far as like modern like mega cities. So like, who knows if that'll even work out as something that people, because like fucking like places like New York or like, you could not pay me enough money to fucking live in New York City. Like that place is a hellhole. So it's like, does that even make people happy living in that environment, especially when the rents get so out of control that people can't even afford to live?
I think people find their little sliver of happiness in certain things, but I think majority of people are not happy unless you're one of the rich, well-to-do people.
And you can travel
just working.
over.
So all those people are living several families in one little apartment.
Yeah.
And I see it going. It's a good example. Is you seen Demolition Man?
No.
The movie from the 90s of Stallone and Snipes?
No.
I see the world. You've seen Ready Player One?
No.
I see us getting to that whole combination of those two movies. Pretty much is how we're going to be.
How is that?
So basically, Demolition Man is they had a big earthquake or something like that.
Yeah.
All the well up the do people live in the nice river areas. There's no weapons, there's no violence, there's no crime, and it's all heavily monitored by government. And there are a few whatever scrawny people that are just want to live normal or living down in the sewers, and they're considered terrorists and outcasts.
Yeah.
I know with Ready Player One, again there was another big war and all this stuff, but people, their interactive with the world is through virtual reality. So everyone's just online all the time, and it's kind of gotten that way already. Everyone's either on the phone or on video games doing something, and that's how they interact. They don't actually interact in the real world other than go to work, and then when they go to work, they put on their headset and they're online.
I'm not doing that shit.
So watch those two movies and kind of see what I mean. So there's probably other good movie examples out there, but that's what I see it, and those are kind of perfect where we're going right now.
Yeah.
And it may not be to that extreme, but it's. So I was out eating earlier, and almost every kid in the restaurant's on a little iPad or cell phone.
Phones,
And the parents too.
I don't get like, because to me, like growing up, I played video games a little bit, but I never was like I never got like super heavy into it. And to me, it was always like, it just, even with like my phone or like modern technology, like I see how it is like interesting and it is amazing how we can like connect with people, and that's fucking awesome. But it's after a while it's like boring to me, like video games and like shit like that, like it's just fucking boring.
Well, some people, I love playing video games.
Do you?
Love it, but it's not to where I can't, hey, someone calls me up, hey, let's go catch a movie. Okay, cool, I can turn it off.
Yeah.
Some of these people, they can't do it, so it's /addiction / they just, people, that's how they're raised, and they just don't again know how to interact with anybody. But I have no problem turning it off and getting out in the world and doing stuff, but a lot of people can't. But it's not to where I love video games that much where I just, again, I can't do anything, and people do that, but I do enjoy playing them.
Huh.
I play every night, every other night for an hour or two, and I'm good.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I'm not going to die. I'm not having withdrawals. I'm not flipping out like some of these kids do, or adults. I mean, there's a lot of adults that play, and
I know.
That's all their life is.
Yeah.
But I play online with some friends, and some of them in their 50s, and they're playing video games.
Fuck.
But they, they do their job. They go to work, and this is their release and escape at night.
Yeah.
/ that's probably all the time they have because they're working 14-hour days.
Yeah.
You don't want to go do much. You just want to sit back and relax and
man,
kill some mindless people online.
What do you play?
I've been playing a lot of Battlefield 5 right now, but I play the Mass Effect series.
Are you pretty like, if you play online? Because I haven't played any video games for like a long time, but I used to play like Halo and shit like that, and when I would play, online, I couldn't even fucking like survive more than like 10 seconds.
Oh, it's definitely difficult. There's people who are so good, and you're like, oh my god. But I find you find the right game, you can survive. So for me, Call of Duty, I can barely survive in that.
Really?
It's just there's too many that are just too good.
I like.
But yeah, I enjoy it. It's But again, it's not to the point where I'm online. It's like, oh my god, if I don't hit this next level, I'm going to lose this. I can't turn it off right now. I'll turn it off. If I don't have to that second, I can wait another 3 minutes and finish the match and get what I need. Fine.
Yeah.
But if not, it's not the end of the world.
Damn.
You can play it again. It's not going anywhere.
Yeah. Fuck. So what else? Is there anything as far as like technology wise that you would like be excited about or that's coming out like in the future? Like would you be into like VR type stuff, or I don't know what else is like new or like interesting that's coming out? Because I feel like a lot of this shit comes out and people get super hyped over it. Like when 3D printing came out, everybody was like, holy fuck, this is going to change the world. That took a shit. When drones came out, everybody had to have a fucking drone. And it's like, again, I think people, you know, the shit comes out and people get all hyped up over it. And then it's like, I don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing really getting my attention, but I know they're really pushing it, especially the autonomous vehicles. And speaking of, I guess there's a Fry's in Scottsdale is the first one in the state that has an autonomous delivery. So it's
a vehicle
that no one's in, and it goes and delivers your groceries. And they just started that here in Scottsdale. And to me, I'm like, it's cool. There's a nice little thing, maybe for certain things that's good, but you're taking away people's jobs.
Yeah.
And that's what people keep pushing. They want this technology and all this stuff. As much as I like it, going to the store to have the self-checkout, which I love using, but don't get rid of the normal cashiers. You need to have them. And there's a place for that. And a lot of the stores are going, like Apple and Amazon are all they're pushing this, where it's just you go in, you scan your thing, and it pays for it. There's no one there.
Yeah, but to me, it's like we should be innovating, and we should, because that's not. I don't want to stand around under fluorescent lighting for 8 hours and fucking check people out. I mean, that's not a fulfilling job for a human being. So to me, they should be doing this shit. But I mean, I've heard other people talk about it. I mean, if our population is going to keep growing and we're getting more efficient, we're going to have some sort of like universal basic income or something, because it's like there's not going to be enough jobs for people to do, you know?
Well, I think there'd be enough jobs if you stop railing so much or charging so much, but the same what you're talking about, sitting under fluorescent light for 8 hours checking.
Yeah. I don't want to do
that. That's
on
the companies. You know what? 4 hours you'll be the checker doing this. Next 4 hours you're going to be doing something else in the store. You don't wear them out and just keep them there, and that's what you get in this monotonous drone type thing, and people are just so bored and tired of their job because there's nothing in it.
How about a machine does it, and then you can do whatever the fuck you want to do with your life?
I do like that, but then I also see is if the machine's doing it, how are you going to get your money?
What do you mean?
Because you're not working, the machine's doing it.
So that's what I'm saying. There has to be some form of like universal basic income.
But where's that universal basic income come from?
From the government.
Somebody working.
I mean,
we're going to tax us.
What?
They'll tax us. The ones that are working get your taxes increased, so you can pay for all. It's basically Social Security.
Well, like you said, the fucking Fed, they just They just make money out of thin air. So why do you need somebody to make money?
I think they'd realize all that might collapse.
What if? Hold on. We're creating a new society here. Okay. What if, let's just say hypothetically, we had some like Google or Facebook or whoever, some technology company who people trusted. What if they created a cryptocurrency, okay? And everybody was guaranteed a certain amount. Let's not even say money, but let's just say money is points. So let's say like $1 is like 1 point. So everybody gets a certain amount of points per month or per year. And that's enough to at least have like a base level of existence where you'd have, you know, a home and afford food and that type of shit. But, you know, if you're somebody who is like a fucking Elon Musk or something like that, if you're somebody who has something extra to contribute, you can do that, and then you get more points if you can contribute something that is worthwhile to society. So it's like that gives people the freedom to be creative, to find their passion, because they're not working this soul-sucking dead-end job. That gives them the chance. And if they do find that, and if they do, whether it's your a fucking musician or you're an inventor or a scientist, if you contribute something that is valuable to society, then you're compensated for it. That's what, to me, that seems like something that is worth thinking about, right? Because it's like, then if right now, we most people aren't, they aren't afforded the luxury of free time to figure out what their passion is or whatever it is. So it's like, I feel like, because a lot of people will say, you can't just fucking give people money because they're not going to do anything. They're just going to sit around all day and eat cheese puffs and blah blah blah. But I don't think that's true, because people want something to do. You can't just fucking sit around all day. I mean, you're going to get bored with that quickly. You know what I'm saying? People want it, whether it's somebody sweeps the fucking sidewalk or like, people want something to do. So I think that's bullshit when people say like, people are just going to be super fucking lazy and not do anything. No.
Well, I feel like we got to start thinking. Arguing is there are a lot of people that are like that. Sadly, now, I mean, they are out there that want to do anything.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, want their welfare and live off that.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have people like that in society. I mean, there might be a small, but I don't think that's the majority of people.
No. Well, you'll weed them out. Not weed them out. I don't mean kill them or anything. It just eventually those people will stop.
But I also feel like a lot of the people who are like that, it's just because maybe like life has beaten them down so much that they're just fucking, I don't know, they just like give up, like they're still living.
But well, there is, and that part I do agree with, and I believe that, again, as a whole majority, corporations and businesses, they're beating their employees down. Yeah. They do not take care of their employees. There's a few that do, and you look at what they're producing. Excellent
products and
things,
services,
and it's just, but they're just so worried about, or they're so much in greed, and they got to have this money and do that and beat that. If we keep these workers doing this, we'll get this a certain amount and be fine. So I think the big one is also another one is that Sears is pretty much done.
Yeah,
but they still got the approval to pay 25 million or billion in bonuses to. I'm like, no. And first of all, why are you getting that much money? There's part of the problem. There's why these companies go out of business. They're paying these CEOs this ridiculous amount of money, but you're in debt by this much. If you cut their pay in half, you can pay that debt off.
Yeah.
Why are you paying this dude so much? I'm sorry, he's not doing anything.
Yeah. I can see though how when people get in these powerful positions. I mean, can you imagine how fucking tempting it is you're at the top of this, like Enron. I mean,
well, of course,
they're making all this fucking money and they're doing all this shady, crazy shit. But it's like, I can see how, people, they get just fucking wrapped up in that, and
money corrupts. Yeah. Absolute power corrupts. I mean, there's good people out there that are rich and have
for sure, definitely,
and they do good things, but sadly, a lot of our politicians, they're getting corrupted by money.
Yeah,
they take these bribes, or their pay alone right now is a joke. I'm sorry. You told me their job is hard. Their job is not hard. You can go around right and left all day you want. It's not a hard job. I have to, again, make decisions. I think we covered this last time. That's important to me. Yes, it's not for the whole country, but it's the same difference. What are they physically doing? They're not out there digging ditches. They're not building houses. They're not doing anything. They're sitting in these nice suits in these nice offices, looking at papers that they don't even actually read.
They're playing political games. Yeah. They're fundraising, and
you're doing that same thing for a company that you're slaving away for. It's kissing up to certain customers to get this or to get that in the store or to do this for someone. You're doing the same thing, but not for the pay. You're benefiting someone else. Where these guys are controlling us, and it's to benefit them. Yeah. So again, when you see some of these politicians at $120,000 or whatever they're making a year, but you got a house that's how many millions of dollars and where?
Yeah.
How are you affording that? Please explain to me what it is you're doing to get that.
I saw this was like a week or so ago. There was a bunch of articles about Michelle Obama. I don't know. She went on some fucking, talk show or whatever. And she wore like, $4,000 like gold fucking Balenciaga boots. And everybody was all up in arms because they're like, what the fuck? Like, this is insensitive or whatever for her to be, you know, wearing this stuff, and I don't know.
Well, see, I was no. Hey, more power to you. You got the money to it.
Yeah.
They got good money being the president. They get a certain amount of money now for being retired from the president. They got life or health care for life, everything. But then they get endorsements and stuff too, which I have no problem with now. They're done now. They can get charged and do that. But while you're in office, that's a different story. So that's what you're talking about there was the Queen of England gave her yearly whatever speech about being good and generous and helping people, and there's a gold piano behind her, and everyone's flipping her. It's like, you literally do not understand, or you're not on the same level as us. Yeah, and that's what's going on.
People are so weird, man. Like just like fucking like humans are totally bizarre. Like the whole thing is so fucking bizarre. We talked about this last time with the woman who was on here last time. There's a new like documentary on Netflix. I think it's called like American Meme or something like that.
Yes.
And it's about did you watch that?
I haven't seen it. I've seen it on there, but
yeah, it's about like social media and Paris Hilton and I don't know, some other like social media people are influencers are in it, and it shows their fucking life, and it's just like it's so, you know, bizarre, you know, people when they get in these positions of power or influence, and it's pretty like honestly depressing. I mean, their lives are not really that exciting, but it's all about, you know, I don't know, fucking crazy.
Yeah, they don't live a normal life like they like to portray, and usually you can tell they don't live a normal life just by what they're dressing and wearing and doing.
Yeah, but it's not even that. Like, I like nice things, and having nice things is fun and nice, but it's like you can only take that so far. I mean, at a certain point, it gets like fucking boring. You know, it's like, you know, you see these people who are like mega wealthy, and the ones who are into a lot of materialistic type things. It's like you can only buy so much shit until it gets kind of fucking annoying.
Well, some of them can't stop and keep going, but
yeah,
I guess we just gotta find, you know, as a group of people, gotta rise up and trying to make the change that we want.
Yeah.
And so what? Just find something that keeps you happy. And
what do you see in 2019 that is exciting and not depressing? That's gonna be going on. Anything? Fuck.
Sadly, other than like new music that I'm into or new shows or stuff like that, I mean, I just think that overall it's just going to get worse. So you just got to find something to kind of keep you happy.
Don't tell me that, man. Don't tell me that, Sam.
I mean, I don't. Unless you're seeing something I'm not seeing, I don't see anything getting better. I just see everybody getting more offended by everything. Everything's just, you're not allowed to say this. You're not allowed to read this. You're not allowed to do that no more.
Yeah. Maybe we should all be like, what was that one movie, Waterworld, where everybody like goes and lives in the ocean on rafts and shit like that? Maybe that's gonna happen. Maybe people are gonna be like,
if you believe in the climate warming thing, yeah, that should happen. Well, we won't be alive when it happens, but
do you believe in global warming? Do you think that's real?
I am.
Or do you? Hold on, let me rephrase that. Climate change and global warming, or whatever climate change, that is something that is happening regardless of human beings. But the question is, are we having an impact, or are we speeding up?
Well, I can see maybe, but again, I haven't done enough research on it to go either way. But the only thing I have for that is there's always been climate change. The world's always been changing throughout it. The only thing I notice is,
are we having an effect though?
Oh, I'm sure we are, but the Earth can take care of itself and has for many years.
So
it'll weed us out. It'll live on without us.
I agree with that for sure.
So yeah, we'll call off a lot of animals, so the Earth will always be here, but there may not be livable areas in the world because there's no animals there's no vegetation, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
Eventually it'll come back, but I just know, like every time you get the weather, it says the record high was 108 back in 1940, and then again everything's like, oh, see, it's global warming, everything's getting hotter. I'm all, well, how in the hell are we not beating the record high from 108 back in whenever? We're cooler now.
Did you hear about that this was like probably a month or so ago, but some I can't remember what government agency came out with a climate change report, and it was like basically by 2100 shit's gonna fucking hit the fan. Like, it's going to get to a point where, I don't know, there's going to be like major climate impact all over the world, and Trump was like, I don't buy it, I don't believe it.
Oh,
but there was no.
I think he's always like that.
But I think, like, I know there's a lot of Republicans or people out there who don't believe in climate change or global warming, or if we're having a major impact. But I think there should be like some, at least like, dialogue from those people, not just I don't buy it or I don't believe it, right? I mean, I feel like there's got to be some because I don't know.
I think it's how they sell it to certain people or just to the public in general. So yeah, I think we're having an effect on the environment big time by killing off all these animal species that are no longer around. That all has an effect. You kill that off, that affects us. It's like the honeybees. If you kill off all the honeybees, how are you going to pollinate the flowers?
What about the corals?
Yeah, that
They're
too.
all dying off.
So that's all being killed by us, and it will have an effect on the climate. So like in the big city areas, you got all the blacktop and all that. I would think it makes it hotter.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure it does, because if you walk out through the summer there and you go out into the open country area more, it's a little bit cooler. Yeah. So yeah, we are having an effect, and we're doing stuff. The Earth will survive. We may not.
Yeah.
But the only way that's going to stop is to stop existing as a human race, because there's no.
Yeah. Adapt to climate.
I don't think it's going to happen though. I don't see.
Really?
Do you see enough people doing that? So you have people fighting for the climate change, but I don't think there's enough to.
Well, I think things
to do it,
because
everybody wants to live in the now for themselves. Don't worry about my grandkids.
But you have like kids. Things like Tesla and electric vehicles are becoming more, hip and in vogue, and then you have, I think people are becoming more health conscious.
Well, those are cool, but then even the electric vehicles are an impact on our environment.
Yeah.
All the chemicals go into the battery, and when those batteries are no good, where are those batteries going?
Yeah.
Everything's got
But if we can find a way to efficiently recycle the materials and whatever, create technologies where things can be recycled and used appropriately, because right now, especially, I don't know who the fuck knows what's going to happen with all this plastic stuff, but I mean, like, when is that going to really?
The sad part is there's all these alternatives out there that are viable, but they don't want to use because these companies they can't make enough money off of it.
Yeah, it's
so
cheaper.
There's paper straws out there that biodegrade and they work just fine.
Yeah.
But they cost double the amount of money to buy those.
Or like back in my grandparents' generation, everything was in glass, you know, and the milkman used to come to your front door.
And you recycle it.
Yeah.
And there's a local dairy doing that here now.
Yeah, I've seen
you get the Dinzians, wherever it is.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's about time. These companies just need to embrace it and do it. I mean, if you really want to make a global impact change, go back to everyone just either walking or riding horses or donkeys or whatever. Get rid of all vehicles.
Seriously. I would love to have a fucking donkey.
Get rid of all vehicles. Go back to like Red Dead Redemption 2 style or 1 or so. If you get rid of all that stuff, immediately that make a huge impact. But
I think we could still have technology and we could still have these things, but we just have to do it in a smart way, and we have to fucking recycle this shit. Obviously recycle.
I'm one of the bad people too. I mean, look at the cell phones. I mean, you get a new cell phone every year. Where are all those bad phones going? Into the dump.
Man, I saw this was a while ago, a documentary on like e-waste, electronic waste, and it showed a lot of these fucking companies, they'll ship this. It showed in I can't remember what part of Africa, but they'll ship all this busted electronic shit to some impoverished part of the world, and basically these people will they burn away the plastic and shit like that to get any precious metal that's in these components to sell back to whatever in their community, just to make a little bit of money. But they're releasing all this
chemicals
pollution.
Yeah, that's another part of the whole.
This community that it showed in Africa was like fucking like wasteland. Like, it was so depressing, and like these people were starting to have birth defects and stuff like that.
Of course, breathing all those chemicals, and it's not good. And until greed stops being the determining factor, this ain't going to change, because these companies have no incentive to go to something that is more efficient and safe for an environment, because they can't make money off of it. It's all it is coming down to money, and people will argue. Most of those people are arguing that's not true, and it is true. You see, even on I don't know if you ever get into Facebook feeds, it shows these
I don't have Facebook.
biodegradable pods that hold shampoo or whatever you want.
Okay.
It's part of the soap. There's no waste.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome.
Why is that not already being taken over?
Yeah.
The same for water. They have these little things on, so all the water bottles.
What?
All the water bottles.
What about them?
They have ones that's made out of seaweed, and you can eat it.
Seaweed water? No.
So it's basically like
fucking
a
way.
little pod, like a little circle thing, and you can either poke a hole and drink it, or you can eat the whole thing. And
If the government starts telling us we have to eat our fucking water bottles, I'm out of here.
but it's a new thing that's out there. It's
Fuck.
why not?
That
do it?
actually sounds kind of cool though.
But there's no waste
yeah, that's
because
awesome.
if you don't eat the seaweed bottle part, it just goes back into the ground.
Yeah, I'm all about that, man.
But
yeah,
you aren't going to see
fucking
that because there's no money in that.
I think I honestly I am I'm optimistic. I mean it's a big fucking ship, so it's like I mean I think there's obviously a lot of work to do, but I see a lot of like positive things, especially in like the millennial and younger generations. Like a lot of people are, you know, fucking how many millennials are like vegan and like health conscious and environmentally conscious, and yeah, a lot of people take it to some people take it to the extreme, but that's not everybody. I think a lot of people are just genuinely
Yeah, well,
trying
the problem
to
is also
the right
it's
thing.
just small family-owned companies that are doing this change until you get people like Nestle, things like that.
But it's not. Look at Whole Foods, man. I mean, that's owned by fucking. I mean, that's a big company, and I mean, how many? You know, they provide a lot of natural products and.
Yeah, but I think that's going to change.
Why?
Who owns them now?
Yeah, Amazon.
They want money, private
Yeah, but
profits. So they may keep with the organic stuff, but the price is going to keep going. But it's these big companies that need to make this change, like Starbucks. They have enough power and influence. They can start doing paper straws and biodegradable cup stuff immediately. They have the money to do it. But because they ain't going to give them the money they want, eventually I heard something about 2020 or 2021 they might start doing paper straws.
Really?
But that's just a small step. You have the money, you can do it now. Stop.
Yeah.
And again, Nestle's one of the worst offenders of water bottle producing companies in the world.
Yeah.
And they want to control the water and do all this stuff, and they don't care about the environment or the community they're in. They just want to take all the water so they can bottle and make money off of it.
Yeah.
Not how we can best help the environment. It's just how can I pad my checkbook.
Yeah, the plastic, that's a big one. Like, and that's even, I'm like pretty, I'm aware of it. And I use a lot of plastic shit. I mean, we recycle here, it's just me and my dad. And I mean, every week, I mean, we have a fucking shit ton of recyclable shit. And the sad part is too, now that I'm hearing that these, recycling companies, I guess supposedly the majority of it all over the US, they were just sending to China.
Yeah.
And supposedly recently China's like, hey, we don't want your fucking shitty plastic anymore. So we don't even have the infrastructure or the capabilities to recycle this plastic. So I've heard a lot now they're just starting to send it to landfills.
Yeah, it's all scam. And that's the other problem is they can recycle and use stuff for it, but there's no money in it. And if there is money in it, only the middle class or upscale people can afford it. So there's no incentive for the lower class people. They're the ones, sadly, that are suffering the most and contributing the most because all they can afford is the cheap 99-cent bottle of water that's in plastic instead of the nicer water that's in the glass bottle that's recyclable or this. So they can't contribute to it, and they're the ones consuming the most.
Yeah.
Not the upscale people, because those guys eat this much food and whatever. It's sad. I know probably
This
stereotype.
come on, man.
Yeah, you know it is. Watch Demolition Man, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. No, dude, I think a lot of the people in the corporate world are fucking gluttons, man.
Yeah.
I mean, they eat I remember for a lot of my dad's corporate career, I mean, it'd be, going out to steakhouses every night and big fucking meals and lots of booze and, all that shit. But
yeah, it's well, the same with the booze thing. They want you to drink. How many people?
when are they going to finally fucking legalize ganj, the marijuana plant? Is that going to be next election? Please, fucking God. Next president, we have to have that legalized across the board. Or Canada's looking better and better every day.
think anyone will do it here. There's still too many, sadly,
Come on, man.
old people stuck in the old times that have been
They're gonna
raised by
die
government
recently.
saying it's bad. Yeah, until that happens though. But look how long we're keeping them alive with all the medical advances we have.
The pharmaceuticals.
Well, those guys don't even start on that. Those guys are bad.
Yeah.
Bad. It's big drug doors, all it is.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of challenges and issues in this country for
Yeah.
sure.
So like I said, try to stay aware of it and try to avoid it as much and help as much as you can and just find what makes you happy and keep living and spread that happiness to other people.
Yeah, definitely. That's
Whether
dope.
it be through giving some time to help at a organization or giving back to your community, giving somebody a gift that needs it, or helping someone pay a bill that fell behind on something. Anything. Any little bit helps.
Yeah.
If you can do it and it ain't gonna hurt you. But
Yeah.
that's why I'm
Damn. Oh, you know what? I just thought of this, bring this up because this is kind of fucked up. I was talking to somebody last night. We were out at a restaurant. The bartender, I can't remember how we brought it up, but we mentioned last year, I just happened to be looking at like my debit card online, my statement or whatever, and I saw this charge from Amazon for $100. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Because I barely use Amazon. Like I've used Amazon a few times, and it's just been like I've ordered books.
Yeah.
So I went on, I went into Amazon. I went in my account, and it was a bill for the Prime renewal. I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't sign up for this. So I found out that they fucking charged me the year beforehand for $100 for the Prime account, which I never even used, and then I only caught it the next year when it renewed. So we were talking about this last night, and the bartender, she's like, that same thing happened to us. So can you imagine? I haven't seen anything about this in the news at all, but Amazon potentially fucking, conned tens of millions or hundreds of millions of people out of a Prime membership. I mean, can you imagine how much fucking money they made off of that? And I only caught it, the second renewal round. I mean, that's some fucked up shit. I haven't heard anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but it basically sounds like to me what they did was, we'll give you 7 days or a week or a month of Amazon Prime for free, but it's going to start charging you after that time is up unless you do it. But it sounds like even more, a lot of times you got to sign up for that, and that it's going to do the auto renew.
Mm-hmm.
But they might have done something where there's a sneak as, hey, we gave you a free month of whatever since you did whatever.
Yeah.
But no one bothers to read since they already have your account information. We're going to renew it after.
Yeah.
There'll probably be a lawsuit coming out of that. If you're starting to notice, other people starting to notice, there'll probably be.
Well, this was, like I said, this was whatever it was, the beginning of this year when I caught it the second renewal round. But they definitely did some shady ass shit, because I 100% did not sign up for the Prime membership.
Well, so you got to watch out, and maybe they are. I don't know if you've checked. Are they sending you an email ever saying, "Hey, by the way, your Amazon Prime is going to renew in a month or so"?
They never. No.
So see if.
And that's the thing too. When it renewed, I only happened to catch it because I was looking at my statement online. I mean, if I hadn't been looking at it at that day, I might not have caught it even the second time around.
I'd look into it more because I have from a Microsoft Live account.
What is that?
It's you got to pay to have $60 a year to play online games with Microsoft for the Xbox and that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they send me out an email like a month in advance says, hey, your Xbox Live account is up for renewal on this date.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want it, go here and click and change it. If not, it's going to automatically renew. Yeah. But they give you that warning.
That's the right thing to do.
And it's what they're supposed to do. And if Amazon's not doing
no,
that,
they're definitely
there is some trouble. And I'm sure there's probably something in the works for that. I'm sure there's a class action lawsuit probably by somebody.
Shout out to Jeff Bezos.
But that's a lot of these companies. That's how a lot of these companies make their money is they're reliant on that. Hey, sign up for Spotify for 30 days free. Yeah. After the trial, you automatically get charged. Yeah. And a lot of people don't even, and they know that a lot of people are just going to forget or don't care, and they just start charging.
Well, that's one thing I hated about when I had, because I had Adobe Photoshop for a while, and those fucking assholes, you have to, because now everything is you know, you don't just buy software and download it onto your computer.
Yeah,
it's
you just rent
all
it.
in the cloud. Yeah, exactly. So you pay for it month to month. But the way they were fucking doing it is, so let's say I subscribed for a year. You could not cancel it, you know, let's say next month, you know, I'm like, this is, even though it was billed month to month, you had to cancel it within this, whatever, this 30-day window. Otherwise, you were roped in, or you're caught into the whole year of payments. So it's like, that's so fucked up, because it's like, you know, it's all these games that they play. That's what I hate about all this, you know, yeah, credit cards and debit cards are like super convenient, because I haven't carried around cash for years. But it's like, you don't know. I mean, these companies and these corporations, they're figuring all these you know, shady ways to rope you into, you know, whatever it is, contracts, or
Oh yeah,
you know, maybe
that's how they make their money.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's a wild one, and it's just getting worse and worse. But I guess we'll find out.
Damn. What else? Anything else crazy?
I was going to ask you, what you got planned for this new year coming up? Any
New year.
resolutions going for you?
New Year's resolutions. I stopped my fucking medical ganja card ran out recently here in Arizona, so I decided not to renew it, just because I'm like, fuck. Even as much as I enjoy smoking, it's like, I'm done fucking playing the medical marijuana game here. So hopefully Arizona gets their shit together and they legalize it recreationally. Otherwise, I'm not smoking for 2019 unless I go to like California or Colorado.
You can find it.
Yeah.
If you want it, you'll find it. It's
Yeah.
readily available.
But I don't know. I'm trying to think like anything crazy. I don't know. I just hope 2019 is going to be fucking positive. I hope there's going to be some like positive shit that happens. I don't know, man. It'll be interesting for sure, you know, when 2019 wraps up, to see what happens. Because, you know, as far as the presidential run, you know, this year, 2019, I mean, all these candidates are going to start ramping up as far as...
they're already doing talks about it. It's just annoying to me.
Yeah.
All more of the same.
Man, I'll tell you what, since Trump, you know, got into office, I mean, it's been like nonstop fucking, you know, coverage of, you know, what's going on in the White House, and, you know, political fucking, you know, back and forth. And it's like, it's fucking exhausting, man. It's super exhausting. I feel like don't you feel like people are kind of like fucking on the edge, or is that just me?
They are, and again, it's all part of the whole thing. Where it's just getting worse. People are just you can't have an opinion no more. It's like, what? I think people for Trump. You're a bad person. You need to be killed and move out of this country. Piss off. Yeah. You're no better than me. You just believe in that other stupid crap that I think is stupid.
Yeah.
You see me wanting to kick you out of the country, or kick you out of my store, or kick whoever. It's just people are just getting out of hand. They're too spoiled and too catered to, and they just need to let it go. You know what? I don't like them either. Do you see me flipping the fuck out?
Yeah.
No. Don't worry about it. I didn't like the last president before him.
Oh, honestly,
I didn't like the last president before him.
I like the shit that he's doing as far as the pulling, you know, the military stuff, pulling our, you know, troops out of
all that part doesn't need to be done. It should have been done a long time ago. All of the countries, bring them home, put them to work here.
Yeah,
and that's again there when he's putting our soldiers down there on the border. That's part of what you're allowed to do, and that's what they should be doing, protecting our own borders.
Yeah,
not other countries. Screw the other countries. Sorry, I mean that ain't our country. As much as I like the other countries, it's their job. Leave them alone.
Man, I'll tell you what, you got to watch. I know we talked about this before we started talking, but Narcos Mexico, so good, man. And it goes into like, you know, how connected the government is with as far as, I mean, it's fucking crazy. It's super crazy. Some crazy shit.
The government's been doing scandalous stuff since the beginning of time, but people as a whole have been scandalous since the beginning of time. People act like people didn't kill people back in the day or didn't do this. Yeah, it's always been around. You just didn't have all the technology and social media where you can stay up on it and get it fast. Back then, it was like someone wrote about it in a newspaper back then. That person had to get the paper and send it to whoever to finally see it.
Yeah.
It's been going on since the beginning of time. There's people have been raping, killing, stabbing, stealing. It's been going on forever. And people act like it's this new thing. It's not. It's not going to stop. ain't going to change. It will never change. And that, you just got to learn to live with it and accept people for what they are. And if you don't like them, you ignore them. You stay away from them.
Yeah. Damn.
No, people won't. They just, it's like I said, it's gotten really bad now. They think you have to be regulated and these people have to be stopped. And the only way to stop them is if you do something like what Germany did, and that's not good. Because you're no better. It was mass killing of a certain type of people. No. And it's, now you become that person you're trying to get rid of. Yeah. You're the bad person.
What about you? 2019? Any resolutions?
I hope to get this business up off the ground, which is taking a lot longer than it should.
Yeah.
Other than that, lots of concerts.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Hopefully, living a little bit easier and more travel, relaxed. More fun. Yeah, more working for myself, hopefully, or if I find a company to work for, they appreciate me, not just keep work, and hit this number so we can get our bonus and you get nothing because we told you to do this and we're the good people.
What about travel? Do you have any travel plans? You said, or no?
I'd like to. Again, it's if I have my own business, hopefully that'll open up more. Because when you're working for other companies, it's you only get 2 weeks off a year or a week a year because you're new or So I'd like to travel more. I guess I got some shows going up that are out of state, but
yeah, man.
I'd like to get out of the country here to visit some places before it's the whole world falls apart.
You will, man. I seriously, I think there's a lot of good shit coming for real. So hopefully 2019, hopefully that'll be like the turnaround. So
the main thing I hope is people will stop for next election and actually try to vote for someone that's for us, not for a party.
Yeah.
I wish
Bernie Sanders. They can't get it through their head. I love Bernie Sanders. I love Bernie Sanders.
He's got some competition.
I hope he is a fucking one of the candidates. I don't know.
I think he probably will be, but sadly I don't think he'll be if
Bernie Sanders.
If one 2020, those that are Jack
He's going to be our new president.
I'd like to see someone that has no political experience be our president.
Well, we got that right now, man. Fucking DT.
Yeah, but he's still He's still tied into political stuff.
The fucking Don, man.
Yeah, but he's still tied into it. When you're that high up and rich, you're tied in with all his political people.
Well, anybody who gets into the White House, I mean, you're gonna be somebody who.
Oh, that's where it needs to change.
Is rich. You're gonna be a politician. You're gonna. I mean, that's
it needs to stop. That's why.
How would that stop? Political. I mean, what do you want? So
the people have a chance. Well, someone that's got some brains, but is an average person like me and you that works and pays bills and does to understand. It's not these. Trump, he's not a politician, but he doesn't live in our world. He's a rich, off-to-do person, so they don't really care about us. None of them do.
I don't think that's true. I think, like you said, I think there's plenty of people out there who have money who are compassionate and empathetic and
there is, but they ain't gonna run for president because they don't want to.
Well, they should maybe,
but they need average people, and that's the problem. Is average people like us are discouraged to run because we ain't got enough money. It shouldn't cost money to run for president.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
I would never even want that position.
I know, but you get what I'm saying. If I want to run for it, I shouldn't have to have millions and millions of dollars to.
Well, that's the thing, though. It's just like you have to. You either have to have the money or you have to have, the donations, because it's like, how are you going to campaign?
Well, I don't mind the donations from average people, but a lot of these politicians.
Well, that's what Bernie Sanders, that's what happened with her. I mean, he was.
Oh, no, that part's fine. Some of these ones you see, it's like you're spending how much money and where's that money coming from? Some of it is from people, but a lot of it's from, this corporation gave them $500 million. And what is that? That to me starts telling me is, he's offering them something that they want.
Well, obviously. I mean,
and that needs to stop. And also, even with the debates, the last thing I'll put on that is, if you're running for president, I don't care if it's the kid on the street. Mm-hmm. He should be up there having a debate. Doesn't matter how much polls you have.
You can't do that, though, because then there's going to be fucking thousands of assholes are going to be like, "Whoa, I should be up on stage."
Well, fine, make a little thing, whatever you have to do this amount, but that's how they weed out these people they don't think have any attention. So who gets all the attention? The most popular people that the news says that we should see, and that's where the problem starts.
You're going to have some sort of credibility to get into because ultimately that's exactly what it is it's a popularity contest, because either you're getting the electoral votes or you're getting the majority of the popular
Well, and that needs
vote.
to change, though, because
Well, that's
Just
what
'cause
a
you're the
democracy
popular one
is.
doesn't
I mean,
make
that's-
it good.
What?
Just because you're popular don't make it good.
That's true, but
Or
I mean that's
smart,
what a
or wise.
fucking democracy is. It's like the hopefully the majority of the people come to a consensus on the right person.
Well, it is, but the problem again I have was maybe not everyone that's running should be up there, but they need to present more people that are running than they do. It's always the last time, even for the Republicans running, you had Trump and the other 2 or 3 that were big. There were some other good options, but the news didn't want you to hear about them. They didn't want to cover them
Yeah.
because there's no money in that for them.
Well, I think definitely like things like YouTube and that's opened up. You know who? There's a fucking awesome dude on who has a YouTube channel. His name is Kyle Kulinski. His channel is Secular Talk. He's like fucking 30 years old. This dude is like really, he's sharp and he's like, he follows everything that's going. He's like a political commentator, but it's like stuff like that. You know, there's things like the Young Turks and other, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, there's alternative things that are sources that are popping up out there now for people to pay attention to. So it's not like you have to pay attention to CNN or Fox.
Oh,
or,
no, but those are
whoever.
the ones that the average people that are
Yeah.
voting, what do they watch?
Yeah, but I think
Sadly,
that's
the young
changing.
people don't go vote.
I think that's changing.
Well, and that's the other thing is voting.
Joe Rogan.
A lot of these young people aren't allowed to
popular.
vote.
What?
A lot of these young people aren't allowed to. So that's the other problem is you got the primaries. If you're not registered as a Democrat
Yeah.
or someone, you can't vote. And that's how they're counting on. And that's what's snowballing half of these politicians that are good.
People got to make sure they're registered to vote. I mean, that's something you got to fucking do.
Well, it's not just registered vote. It's you have to be. So you're registered to vote. Say you're registered as a Democrat.
I'm registered independent.
Say, okay, you're registered independent. And primaries up, you can't vote for any of those Democrats or Republicans if you like one.
Yeah. Why
Because
is that?
you're not part of the party.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
So
in a primary, if
in
you're
a primary.
independent, you can't vote for.
not unless you're a part of that party.
Really?
So that,
You
and
sure?
that yeah, so that's what makes a lot of the problems. I had a lot of friends back in the day. They liked the Republican candidate that was running back
Yeah.
then. They couldn't go vote for him because they were Democrat.
Well, just because, I mean, this past election, just because Bernie Sanders wasn't the nominee for the Democrats, I still could have voted for him. I mean, you could write. You could.
Oh, you can
potentially
do
write
that, but I
somebody-
mean, as far as who gets the party nomination.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's all bullshit.
Sanders would have had an even better chance if
Yeah.
a Republican or independent could have went and voted in the Democratic primaries.
Yeah.
They could have voted for him, but you're not allowed to. And that, to me, needs to change.
I didn't know that, honestly.
Because and their whole reasoning behind why they don't allow that is the most asinine, stupidest crap I ever heard.
Are you registered as a Republican or independent?
I think I'm registered as a Republican.
Are you?
But the last
How dare you?
The last 2 times I voted has been almost all independent third party.
Really?
But it's
Well,
you
how can
can't
you-
vote for that until it's the main election.
So if I thought though, if you're registered as a Republican, you have to vote as a Republican. You can't flip on the day of the election and be like, okay. I'm
Oh yeah,
gonna
you
vote.
can vote for whoever you want come day of election. But in the primaries, I'm registered as
Okay,
Republican.
okay.
So you got all these primaries going Democrat, Independent Party, Republican, and it's a primary election. I can only vote for a
Okay,
Republican. I
okay.
can't go and vote for a Democrat. They
I
won't
did
allow
not
me.
know that. I
And
didn't know
that needs to change.
Yeah.
Because again, you're already snowballing, pigeonholing whoever
Well, you
you
would
want.
think if you're voted or if you're registered as independent, then that would give you the ability in the primary to go either way. That's why
No.
somebody would be independent.
And my understanding, a lot of parties don't want that because they think,
Well, that's retarded.
some of these people get these people together to go out in a big turn and vote for some crappy Republican candidate that has no chance in hell and get him to win the primary and get the Republicans nomination,
Yeah.
which is mind-boggling to me. That, come on, that needs to stop. So if you're, no matter what you are, party-wise, primary, and all that, you should be able to vote for whoever you want to vote for.
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So when it comes to a normal election, I can vote for whatever party I want. So that's why when you see Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Independent Party, Constitution Party, you can vote for whatever you want. That time it counts. But in the primaries, you have to stay with your party, and that needs to change.
Yeah.
I think that would sway our picks huge. So like this last time when Sanders was running, he would have beat out Clinton if
Yeah, I
people
agree.
from the Republican Party were allowed to vote in the Democratic primary.
Yeah.
But because they weren't, Clinton went off her name. You have all these older people that want it. Plus, she's a woman. Let's have our first woman president.
Yeah, fuck that.
I have no problem with woman president, but get someone that's not.
Yeah.
She's already proven to be a snake.
Yeah, I'm not.
If I did half the crap she did in my life, I'd be in jail. In jail. Fired from my job. Not be allowed to be taken back into that job, anything.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. But that's the whole other thing is, yeah, I'm registered Republican, but I'm not. Oh my God, I only vote Republican. That's where people need to get their ass out of
They had it out of their ass.
no ass out of the whatever thing they got it sitting on.
Oh, okay. Oh, you mean
Because their head's out here, but they got
Yeah.
something else up their ass that's making them like, oh yeah, like someone's hands up their ass or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're registered as. It should be you vote for what is the best at the
Yeah,
time.
I
So
agree.
yeah, I'm Republican, but I don't like Trump and he's Republican. I don't. So I go for who I think is overall going to do the best for me, regardless of the party.
Yeah.
And that's how it needs to be. But people won't. They're just like, I can vote Republican because they have their best interests as a whole. No, they don't.
Yeah.
Go with the person that has their best interest. Doesn't matter what, because that
Party.
basically the party thing to me is no different than saying, oh well, I'm only voting for this guy because he's white. I'm only voting for this guy because this is a woman, or this person because
I
they're black.
agree 100%. Yeah.
And that's exactly what they're doing. That's these people that are saying I only vote Republican or Democrat. You're no better than saying that. You're voting for basically a skin color. In this case, you're voting for your. Actually,
Your
I don't know
tribe,
what the fuck
your
something stupidest crap I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Sam. Well, thank you, man,
Yeah.
for coming on again, and happy New Year to everybody, and hopefully 2019 is a good year for everyone. So, yeah, man.
Yeah, everyone get out there and do something.
Next year,
Make a
come
change.
back on, and then hopefully
Yeah, hopefully we'll have the
something
shop
good
going
stuff.
and we'll not just meander about something. We'll have something cool to talk about other
Yeah.
than horrible bad things.
Yeah. All right, man. Cool. Beautiful.
Cool.
Thank you.